It is July 28th, week 46. 45. I'm getting a little carried away.
We're getting old.
But it's because this is a jammed-packed, best week in baseball type of ordeal. It is trade deadline week. The trade deadline is 4 p.m. on Friday. Already have had a few trades over the past few days. While I was asleep last night, there was a few trades you wake up to and you go, okay. Wednesday, today, Thursday, Friday. It's going to be the next 3 days. Next, 56 hours, 2 days and a half, 2.5 days. Going to be big. Now, review as to what deals have already been made. Lefty Andrew Chafin, Cubbies reliever, got sent over to the Oakland A's. That was Monday. Tyler Anderson of the Pirates, who was supposed to go to the Phillies last night until the deal broke through. He's actually going to the Seattle Mariners, who lost to the Astros last night, but are with the A's loss last night to the Padres, only a game out of the first wild card spot. Yanks are now 2.5 out of that second wild card spot. But with that acquisition of the Mariners, what happened before that acquisition, Mariners actually traded away their closer, Kendall Graveman, who has been a top, in my opinion, outside of, not having a lot of saves, but top 5 reliever in baseball this year. With a sub-1 ERA, he was on the COVID list last month, gave up a few runs when he first came back, but it's been great. He's been on my fantasy team almost the entire season, and now I'm probably going to lose some saves due to him being on the Astros now and Ryan Presley being their main closer. But he's going to be a high-leverage situation type of guy for them. So for me, great trade by Houston. Mariners trading in division to the leaders of their division. And, DePoto said, the GM of the Mariners, goes, as a standalone trade, this does not make sense. There are moves coming. So that was followed by Tyler Anderson as a starter. I'm just wondering why you dumped your best reliever, but maybe if that clears up money, are they in play for, let's say, a high, Craig Kimbrell of the Cubbies? And they're fine with having an all-star closer and get the money, because right now Mariners got to be in buy mode. I mean, they might sell away like they did with Graven, but they got to start now adding over these next 2.5 days, because for a team who has not been to the playoffs it's been 20 years, 2000, right? 21 years it's been. And you don't have a World Series title under your belt ever. When your team is finally 9 games over 500, Mariners have not been good. And with these young guys, Logan Gilbert coming up, I know Jared Kelenic has not been good since been called, but it's a bunch of young talent led by a pretty solid veteran group. Guys like Kyle Seager, Mitch Haniger, those are really your two main cornerstones that have kind of been there, have gone through those tough seasons with Seattle. Other trade that went down last night, Yankees actually traded away Justin Wilson and Luis Sessa to Cincinnati. Now, I'm sure a lot of Yankee fans are going, why do we trade Sessa? He has had a really good year, very solid for them. This makes a lot of sense for the Yankees, to be honest. So you just cleared up 2 roster spots on your 40 and essentially on your 26-man. The Justin Wilson contract, even within this, 2/3 of the first year, not working out. Them being able to trade away that contract and especially he has a player option for $2.5 million. next year. So if he does exercise that, that's the Reds. The Reds got to deal with that. Yankees are like, all right, cool. I'm not going to pay him. The Reds probably said, all right, hey, you want Wilson off your book? We want Sessa. So it was straight up just a money dump, especially with the way that the fans and what we can expect from Brian Cashman, and again being only 2.5 out of a playoff spot. You would think they're going to bring in a guy that's owed money, and again, they don't want to go over the luxury tax threshold. It's been said for a while. They don't want to go over that thing. So does that clear up like a move to trade for a Trevor Story? Possibly play him at short. So those are. It's a slow developing market right now, and it's a seller's market for pitching right now, because it seems like every team is really just looking for the pitchers. Even the Mets last week, like I said, they traded for Rich Hill. Yeah, that was an early move, just kind of like a small subsequent move to fill in a rotation spot. But even like the mid relievers, the mid rotation guys that teams are really looking just to like keep bulking up their rotation, whether it's, we know we have 5 or 6 guys. You know what? We'll take a 7th guy just in case. Who knows? A lot of starters work out of the bullpen come postseason anyway. But a lot of these hitters now, the ones that I truly think are going to be on the move, like the Anthony Rizzos, Chris Bryants, Javi Baez, Josh Donaldson, maybe Byron Buxton, maybe Trey Turner, although he got taken out of yesterday's game against the Phillies. Single first to third on another hit, home run, ran right to the dugout. People thought, oh, he was just traded. He's hurt. Neither test positive for COVID. So, yeah, Christian's eye just went, So minimum 10 days. Because the Nats said everyone's on the table except for Juan Soto, and we can expect Max Scherzer to be dealt either today. People are saying early as today, and I think one of the NL West teams are gonna end up with him. Dodgers, Padres, Giants. So Scherzer's going to be gone. Another news, Steven Strasburg has got to go under a thoracic outlet. That the nerve injury, just similar to Matt Harvey. So he's out for the year for the Nats. That one's a really tough pill to swallow. A guy that's only made 7 starts since he signed the $240 million contract after the 2019 World Series win for Washington. So that's another big. It's a big yikes. A big oi. Big waste. So money just being burned at this point. But yeah, I got like 6, 7 guys who I think are on the move, and who I think will be. I'll give you kind of top 3 fits for where I could see them going. So that'll be after this little transition that Christian does. What a cool transition that was. Christian's gonna do it later. Well, Friday and the next few days, it's gonna be dictated by essentially 3 teams. And that's the Cubs, the Nationals, and the Twins. I think Twins are probably still in there, but with all these moves, like the ones that I talked about over the last 10 minutes happening over the last few days, Nelson Cruz already traded to Tampa Bay. We talked about that last week. Jock Peterson of the Cubs already went to the Braves, and now they beat the Mets last night. Braves are still trying to see, if they win the next 2, that gets them in a good spot of 2.5 behind the Mets. Phillies are 3.5 out behind the Mets. Braves are 4 out against the Mets, and now they got 2 more games tonight and tomorrow. Mets and Braves, they split Monday. Braves won 12-5 last night. So Braves again could be the. That's why I don't know if I feel like I don't know if I'm gonna be picking anyone to go to Atlanta because I still don't know whether they will be the buyers or the sellers. If the Mets win tonight and tomorrow, and the Braves are 6 games out of the division, and they are 3 games under 500. I don't think with the injuries to your pitchers, with the injury to Acuna, I really don't think it's worth them putting in like future pieces to get just kind of like, hey, try and dig us out of the hole. The Braves haven't been over 500 not once this season. They've been at 500. They've been 1 under. They've tried to get over. They've not been able to scratch an above 500 winning percentage all season. At some point, I think you got to go, all right, we're not going to do it. Let's start with the Cubs because they have the biggest no. They got the biggest pieces. They have the most difference makers that can be sent. And that's Rizzo, Kimbrel, Javi Baez, Chris Bryant. Right off the bat, I feel as if it's almost too easy for Rizzo. I think Boston is the place that he needs to be traded to. For first base wise, I think that's a guy that if the Red Sox do trade for him, it'd be a perfect spot that they can extend him. Now for the Cubs, does it start with a guy like Bobby Dahlback? Are you willing to depart with that? I feel as if that may be like a Michael Chavis and 2 prospects could possibly get that deal done. But if it starts with a guy like Duran or Bobby Dahlback, if I'm the Red Sox, I really don't know if I want to make that move. Duran's not going anywhere. There's I think he's has too much potential. Is just a great contact hitter, has shown opposite power, can steal. Not many guys like him. Craig Kimbrel. I think the Mariners. I think the Mariners have if they just traded away Graveman, I think they have to trade for Craig Kimbrel. And I think there will be no if there's packages with these guys, I think I'd be surprised. Cubs are going to get all the value out of these as like as like sending one away. Kimbrel to Seattle makes a lot of sense now. And you take on some of that salary. Who do they send? Like I'm wondering, does it start with like a Taylor Trammell that they just got from San Diego? He a top prospect, like a past top prospect. Javi Baez, I'm gonna say it, the New York Mets. It makes perfect sense. Lindor's out for 4 to 6 with the oblique. You put him at shortstop until Lindor gets back, and he has said it publicly over the last few days. If I were to play second base, the only person to my right is going to be Francisco Lindor. It's the only way that Baez would say, you know what, I'll play second base, is if he's playing next to one of his best friends in Lindor. He's talked about it. He loved the World Baseball Classic, Puerto Rico. Him and Lindor were up the middle. And Baez can still play shortstop for probably almost the majority of the time he'd be a Met this season. You're looking at like if you trade for him within the next few days, you're looking at him still playing shortstop for the next month. Or month and change. So yes, there's a lot of swing and miss. He leads the league in strikeouts, Baez. Offensively, though, I mean, in 90 games, he still has 22 home runs, He's driven over 60. The average is up over is at like 245. He was around like 215 like a month and a half ago. He's having a great month. I think it's worth the gamble. I mean, infield, you got, when healthy, you're looking at like McNeil, Lindor, Baez, Pete Alonso. I mean, it's a pretty freaking good infield. And again, they need more bats. And I know Chris Bryant is the guy that a lot of the Mets want or talking for. I think Baez might be an even better fit for them. Where do they start? I'm just trying to, like, when you try and piece together. I know got names, got where they're gonna go, but as a Met fan, where does that deal even start? You're probably looking at like 2 higher tier prospects. Maybe a guy like Vientos and like a JT Ginn. Yeah. All right, Chris Bryant. Like, you want to say Mets again, but like if I just told you Baez, I think they only get one of these Cubs guys. The Giants? I mean, like, San Fran is a team that is so interesting, has been so good offensively, and are for real because of their pitching, that I feel that they would have a little surprise, something in them. They see what the Dodgers and what the Padres just traded for Adam Frazier. That was another big name that happened Sunday. That the Padres traded for Adam Frazier, a dude that leads the league in hits. And honestly, they got a pretty good deal for it. That whatever they gave it for to the Pirates. That Padres are showing, all right, we have Adam Frazier, we're going to plug him in left field. You can't have too many good players on your team. It's a good problem to have a lot of players and just go, all right, where we're going to put them, we'll fucking figure that out later. But we got good guys here now. And that's the thing. At the Padres, it's another name I have, like Eric Hosmer. Padres are trying to dump Eric Hosmer to the moon right now after the contract that he signed a few years back before they brought in Machado. You're going to have to attach a prospect with the Hosmer deal. So does Hosmer fit Boston as well? If they get a good prospect back, and it's kind of more of an even deal, but you're clearing money and you're clearing roster, like you're clearing space, because that means that Cronenworth moves to first, Frazier back at second, and then you got Myers, Grisham, Tommy Pham, left to right. Trevor Story, and I'm going to put Trevor Story and Trey Turner kind of in the same boat, although Story is the one who is going to be dealt. And I would say the New York Yankees. One of these players is going to be traded to the New York Yankees. Do I think it'd be worth to trade for? It'd be worth to give more up for Trey Turner with a year of control next year, and then you could sign him long term. Trey Turner, in my opinion, I think the Nationals are fucking out of their mind. This dude is a top 15 player, top 3 at the shortstop position. You put him at short, Glaber to second, DJ first now, and Gio at third. Luke Voit becomes the DH, or you fucking trade his ass. See ya. Both of them make good sense. One of them is going to be a Yankee. I'll put my money on Trevor Story, though, more, because I think he'll cost less, because at that point it's a rental. But maybe for the Yankees, he's a guy that becomes that rental for you, and they sign him after the season or something. Scherzer, it's the Giants, the Padres, or the Dodgers. Now, Scherzer's a 10-5 player. And it's essentially his choice. Nationals are probably going to tell him, hey, this is the package that we're getting for you. What do you want to do? Dodgers are really desperate right now, to be honest. Don't expect Trevor Bauer to pitch again this season, let alone for his entire career, with the whole the sexual assault charges on him. The Padres, again, just continue to add talent. The Giants, though, are another bringing a veteran leader into that young crew of Gausman, Wood, DeSclafani, and even just to bulk him up and have him be your number 2 behind Gausman. So I think Scherzer to the Giants is very interesting. I think that I feel like he's needed more in San Fran. As great as their pitching has been, I think if they hang on to the division, they're 3 up on LA now after they beat them last night. They're 5.5 up on San Diego. You create a legitimate playoff 1-2 in Scherzer, Gausman, or Gausman, Scherzer, whichever where you wanna start them, one or two, whatever it may be. But you can put them up to probably the best 1-2 punches rotation wise that you can get. Lance Lynn, Carlos Rodon, Corbin Burns, Brennan Woodruff. I mean, it's a 1-2 that you can make a series up 2-0 very quick. But this is who I think. See, like I want the Giants to get Scherzer because I think it'd be a really good fit. But I think the Dodgers are that desperate in the sense that their rotation's got injuries. It's basically I'm plugging in Bauer's spot in the rotation that we literally just paid $40 million for to bring in Scherzer. I'm going to say the Giants because I want him to go to the Giants. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Dodgers. But and again, with the Padres just trade everyone. So like I wouldn't be surprised if he went to San Diego. I feel like Scherzer would want to go to a San Fran or San Diego more than an LA. I think he's just kind of like he's already showed that he doesn't want to go to New York, even though the Mets Mets in division, they did their due diligence. Yankees, he doesn't want to go to New York. I think he wants to go a smaller West Coast, San Fran, San Diego. I don't need LA. But he's like, I want to build on my Hall of Fame resume. What team's going to give me the best chance at another World Series title? And that's up to him. That's up to him saying, all right, it's the Dodgers, it's the Padres, it's the Giants. I like San Fran, though. I think that'd be a good spot for him. Now, the asking price for Jose Berrios, and he has another year of control after this one. So it's not like a full rental, and that's why the Twins they're really looking for like an A prospect. This is a guy when he's at his best is a top 10 pitcher in the American League. And that's what I'm wondering, to get a deal done and to get the money off the books as well, if Berrios and Donaldson do get packaged together. And I'm thinking, although it's a lot of money, like Tampa Bay could be a possibility. Putting Donaldson at third. I know you have Diaz there at third base right now. But like pitching wise, like that's another true number one, like a true number 1 or 2. AL West, I mean, I'm thinking maybe Barrios go to Houston. Like I'm wondering, like Houston's, I think it wants to add some pitching. Their offense is very good. You really don't have to do much else with pitching. And a trade just happened. Trade literally just happened. No one that I've named, but small, another solid one. Cincinnati Reds just traded for Michael Givens, another reliever. So that's 3 relievers acquired in the past 14 hours. Bullpen for the Reds been the issue. They think that they have a shot being 52-49. I mean, they're 7 out of the division. They're 6 out of the wild card. So don't expect any big splashes. I mean, the Reds' offense alone is very, very good. Winker, Castellanos, Votto's been fantastic. Jonathan India, Suarez hits home runs for you. Lance, what's his name? Lance Stevenson? No, not Lance Stevenson. Tyler Stevenson. Catching has been very good. Tyler Naquin's had his best offensive year. It's been pitching for the Reds. So I think Givens is a solid another rotation arm for them. This is. I'll say this before I stop talking about it, because this is all. It's just you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. What deals are gonna fall through within the final 30 minutes on Friday. Are the teams that are like on the fringe of a playoff spot gonna be the ones that truly go all in? Like, as amazing as they are, like, fun to watch, like, the Blue Jays are like 2 games over 500. With, like, the best offense in baseball with the guys, with Guerrero, Bichette, Springer, Teoscar Hernandez. Are they going to go for more pitching? Are they going to trade for a Kimbrel type? Because their bullpen really needs that help. It's all about wondering if this is the year that they actually have the shot. So, I feel like the Red Sox might add a little bit. White Sox, funny enough, I'm thinking first place teams. White Sox just got Eloy Jimenez back, homered last night. So that's even one of those in your heads. And similar to the Mets are playing with their injuries, you feel like you just acquired him. Being on the eye, and for the Mets, those possible acquisitions for them in their head are going to be the Carlos Carrascos, the Noah Syndergaards, DeGrom coming back, hopefully either next week or the week after. Just getting these good guys healthy. I just hope the Mets they need some more bullpen help. They need another starter. And I truly do think they need more runs. Baez or Bryant. I like Baez, though. That'd be sweet. Trade deadline is Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll see where these names end up. I can guarantee you, though, 12 to 15 players are going to have new homes by the end of Friday. That's just how it is. Baseball.